August 6, 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Voting Rights Act, a moment that transformed American democracy. What began in Selma, the lethal violence of Bloody Sunday, became a law that outlawed poll taxes, literacy tests, and voter intimidation nationwide. Today marks the 60th anniversary of that milestone, but the promise of the act now stands at a crossroads, weakened, under threat, and in urgent need of renewal. The act was born amid brutal resistance, especially in the Deep South. Black Americans faced violence, intimidation, and legal barriers to voting. With national attention on the Selma protests, Congress responded with the most powerful voting rights law ever enacted. It included nationwide bans on discriminatory devices like literacy tests, Section 5 preclearance, requiring certain jurisdictions to get federal approval before changing voting rules. Legal tools so affected individuals could challenge discriminatory text. For nearly 5 decades, the act served as a shield. But in 2013, Shelby County versus Holder struck down the preclearance formula, rendering Section 5 powerless. Without federal oversight, many states swiftly adopted restrictive laws and purges that disproportionately targeted communities of color. Since then, courts have narrowed Section 2 challenges, and new decisions make it harder for private citizens to sue under the Act. Today, its legal power is all but hollow. Disenfranchisement is not an abstraction, it's lived. Native American communities in North Dakota won map redraws that expanded their representation, only to face Supreme Court review setting those gains at risk. New ID laws, poll closures, roll purges, these tactics fall hardest on marginalized voters, Black, Latino, Indigenous, Asian, and young Americans. In Texas, new maps redrawn ahead of schedule have drawn sharp condemnation. Proposed lines would significantly dilute Latino and Black voting power in Harris and Travis counties, prematurely granting Republicans the possibility of 5 additional seats in Congress. Critics argue this is a return to cracking and packing, tactics outlawed under the original Voting Rights Act, enabled by the void left by Shelby County. Political leaders have fled the state to avoid forcing a quorum, lawsuits have been filed, and experts warn those changes could set a precedent nationwide. To restore the VRA's strength, the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act was introduced, most recently in March 2025 as H.R. 14. It updates the trigger for preclearance, restores federal oversight, and offers legal tools to challenge modern voter suppression. Across the Senate, leaders including Senators Warnock, Padilla, Schumer, and Durbin have reintroduced it, warning that the stakes include the very foundations of democracy. But the bill faces steep political barriers in a Senate still governed by the filibuster rule. Voting is the most powerful instrument ever devised to break down injustice, as LBJ said in 1965, without robust national protections, the promise of the 15th Amendment erodes with every new law or line drawn to dilute particular votes. Texas's current redistricting fight demonstrates that disenfranchisement tactics survive in new forms, even when the original tools have been dismantled. John Lewis called for federal vigilance, not complacency. Renewing the VRA isn't nostalgia, it's necessary defense, not just legal, but moral. History invited us here. The Voting Rights Act was not a gift, it was earned with blood and courage. Congress must pass the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act. Courts must not erase the lessons of Selma. And citizens must stay vigilant, defending the right that once cost so much to win. Thank you for watching Renaissance Spirit. Here, we don't just mark anniversaries, we reclaim them. We don't chase headlines, we honor legacies. If this episode stirred you, reflect, share it forward. Stay curious. Because democracy lives in how we treat history and who we choose to remember. Subscribe, take the Renaissance quiz, and join the Signal Fire. Live the Renaissance spirit and protect the vote.